This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, African-American civil rights leader Elizabeth Eckhardt shared inspirational stories in Dunedin this week. About 1,200 school pupils from southern schools are participating in a ukulele jam. And school children and dock rangers work together to release 19 black stilts in South Canterbury. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. African-American writer and activist Elizabeth Eckhardt has visited Dunedin promoting a book that recalls her experiences, including being the first student of colour in a white school in 1957 as desegregation began in some American states.
Still statuesque and dignified, 50 years on from being the first black-skinned student to walk into an all-white school in the American state of Arkansas. Proudly going where no student of colour had gone before and captured in a photograph.
I don't consider myself well known. Yeah. The photograph is well known. Yeah. I very much understand that the photograph is famous.
Elizabeth Eckhardt was one of the Little Rock Nine, a group of 9 coloured people who, through forced desegregation, went to a previously all-white school. Accompanying her in Dunedin are US Consul General to New Zealand Caitlin Clow and former US Army Lieutenant Colonel Eurydice Stanley.
She was the first member of the Little Rock Nine to show up at Central High that day. And so the hatred of that crowd was focused solely on her, and she bore that on 15-year-old shoulders. And she was able to endure because she knew how important what she was doing was.
Elizabeth Eckhardt has lived in Little Rock, Arkansas since 1974, and despite remaining fairly anonymous, is proud of the southern state having a monument to the struggles her and 8 others endured.
And in Little Rock, it's the only southern state that has statuary dedicated to the civil rights movement on his Capitol grounds. It's called Testament.
Hundreds of pupils from schools all around the region packed into the Otago Girls High School hall to hear the US civil rights activist discuss racism, prejudice and bullying. Elizabeth Eckhardt wouldn't talk about the current US political climate. However, Eurydice Stanley says Eckhardt's experiences still ring true today.
Her experiences are relevant today because it speaks to the resilience and the tenacity of the American spirit, and unfortunately it was a horrific time in American history, but 9 children, 9 youth showed the world the tenacity that's necessary to bring about change.
Elizabeth Eckhardt says despite a very tough year at high school, she enjoyed her college years and worked a number of jobs before compiling her experiences in a book. She's visiting Dunedin to discuss her life and the book called The Worst First Day, Bullied While Desegregating. In Dunedin, The South Today.
The 24-year-old man wanted in relation to a serious incident in Gore on Wednesday evening has been taken into custody by police. Rory Jamal was hunted by police after a police car and 2 pistols were taken following another incident on Wednesday night. Police spent the day establishing armed cordons on several intersections around properties in Gore. RNZ National has since reported police vehicles have also converged on Cruz Street at the intersection with George Street. There was also a heavy police presence at Diamond Peak Road as police attended several other properties in Gore. About 1,200 school pupils from 48 Dunedin and Invercargill schools are participating in a 2-day event celebrating the ukulele. It's the 10th year the event has been run in Dunedin, and organisers say it was time to move to a bigger location to celebrate the milestone.
From the teacher to the pupils, the joy of playing the ukulele is plain to see. It's hard to miss seeing the enjoyment on the faces of these pupils taking part in the 10th Music Education Otago Ukulele Kids Jam at the Dunedin Town Hall yesterday.
We're celebrating the fact that it's been going for 10 years and it's a jam. It's not a competition and it's not a concert. It's come along with what you've got, where you're at, and just have a ball.
Coordinator Rachel McNamara says the event started in 2010 with just 400 Dunedin pupils and has continued to grow year on year. She says it's now part of a series of nationwide events.
We've got lots of songs, range of songs, that have been put together by the Kiwi Lady group in Auckland. And they are also running in Wellington partway through the year, as well as a thing that's happening in Auckland later on in the year.
This year, about 1,200 school pupils from 48 Dunedin and Invercargill schools are participating in the two-day event. McNamara says the young strummers are accompanied by a host of players from around the country.
We've got the ukulele squads come down from Auckland, and they're amazing, wonderful, motivational teenagers for our kids to see. We've got Lucy Summerfield, who's won the competition for Hook, Line and Sing Along.
She says even Norma the Town Hall organ joined in, along with a Pacific Islands drumming group. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Dunedin's cruise ship spending topped $60 million last season, up by 26%, just under the national trend. The city welcomed the second highest number of passengers after Auckland, with 238,000 arrivals, up 32% on the year before. Statistics New Zealand says cruise ship spending hit $570 million in the year ended June 2019. This follows an increase of 11% on the previous year. School children and dock rangers worked together recently to release 19 black stilts behind Lake Tekapo in the Mackenzie Basin. The release of the native wading birds, which are also called kaki, is the third of 3 releases as part of a local conservation project.
Perfect high country weather at Mount Gerald Station at the far end of Lake Tekapo. Pupils and teachers from Arowhenua Maori School joined Department of Conservation staff in releasing 19 juvenile black stilts, also called kaki, into the wild. This is just one of 3 black stilt releases in the area, following the trapping of pests by the South Canterbury Te Manahuna Araki Conservation Project. Over the last week, a total of 64 birds have been resettled into this high country refuge north of Lake Tekapo, and another 66 have been released on the other side of the mountain range in the Tasman Valley. Dock Ranger Simone Cleland says they have big plans for the area, removing predators such as stoats and wildcats, as well as invasive plants.
So Te Manahuna Araki, what we're wanting to do is remove all predator and pest species, so that's all of the mammal predators that we were talking about and all of the weed species like these willows out here.
Once this area is totally free of predators, they're hoping the surrounding mountains and lake can act as a natural barrier to the reinvasions of pests.
What we're wanting to do is use these mountain ranges that you can see all around us as a barrier, so if we trap predators out of here, that they can't come and get back into this area. So that's what we're testing here. So it's a very defendable place that we can trial this on the mainland.
Last year, the adult black stilt population was estimated to be just 132 birds in the wild, meaning the species is considered critically endangered. Following these recent releases of 130 juvenile birds, this number will hopefully improve. North of Lake Tekapo, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. Kiwi Rail has a direct message for New Zealanders during Rail Week, and we find out about this weekend's Ranfurly Challenge game in ODT Rugby Chat, so see you after the break.
At Alex Campbell Menswear, we bring you the best value. We have bought a massive selection of moleskins, and we're passing on the savings to you. Buy 1 pair, save $25. Buy 2, save $60, and we have a great deal on our knitwear. Look at it all, 25% off all our knitwear. And to go with the knitwear, what about a nice warm shirt? These are 25% off too. And while we're doing the 25% off, what about on the jackets? 25% off them as well.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So check us out for massive savings this winter.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Step into Shop on Carroll and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chin.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. We have new items arriving every day. Visit us for a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
Welcome back. KiwiRail is using a direct message to promote safety around level crossings during Rail Week. Those partially formed crosses began appearing near rail lines this week as KiwiRail delivers a blunt reminder about rail safety. KiwiRail says there were 299 near misses at level crossings in the year to June 30th, involving people, vehicles and trains. The crosses are beside level crossings around Dunedin and represent people who narrowly avoided a serious or fatal collision. There were 18 near misses in Otago and 11 in Southland to the end of June this year. There were also 18 collisions at level crossings around New Zealand during the same period, including one each in Otago and Southland. KiwiRail says while fatalities resulting from collisions are tragic, the close calls take a huge toll on all those involved, including locomotive engineers. In the second edition of ODT Rugby Chat this week, Paul Dwyer talks with Otago coach Ben Herring ahead of Saturday's Ranfurly Shield Challenge against Southland at Forsyth Bar Stadium.
Welcome to ODT Rugby Chat, sponsored by Garrador. Get over there and see Gerald Orr from Garrador for any garage doors that you need. Look, it's on us. It's Ranfurly Shield time. It's Saturday. It's 4:35 at the stadium at the greenhouse, and I've dragged Ben Herring in. So let's talk about the team then. The team for this weekend. So you haven't. So you okay? So you've brought Sikano Pole back in at hooker. What other changes have you made to the starting 15?
The only other changes, Jonah Nareki's come back.
So he's come back in?
He was ill last week, that's why he didn't play. We've really backed that same squad essentially to right the wrongs of last week.
So he's coming in for Sala Halahiva?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and so that's the only two changes.
We've had a good week. There's a good edge to us. I'm pretty confident we can.
So you're telling me that you can guarantee to the punters that have come along that we are going to hold on to the Shield and take it on to play Manawatu 2 in a couple of weeks' time.
That's our role. That's what we're here to do. So yeah.
Okay, right. Look, you heard it here first. You heard it here first. I agree with Ben. I just don't see how we lose this game. It's going to be a lot tighter than people think. I think it'll be under 12, but I think Otago win this game and hold on to the Ranfurly Shield. And just remember, we are covering the Otago Boys Kings game on Saturday. We will have. We're going to play that on 9:30 after the Test match on Channel 39 at 9:30. And that's for the ODT Cup, by the way. And that game will be live on the ODT website, probably from 6 o'clock. And we will talk to you again with the Ranfurly Shield next week.
After the break on the South Today, up-and-coming basketball players from across the South get skills coaching from an NBL superstar in Invercargill. And we find out what the weekend's weather has in store for us, so stay with us.
Step into Op Shop on St Andrew and discover a place with plenty of bargains for yourself, your friends and the whole family. For a fabulous range of economy and upmarket clothing, accessories, books, shoes and more. Shop with us and support your community.
If you're suffering from sciatica, lower back pain, hips and pelvis and knees, this technique will work wonders for you. The energy flow is transmitting through the muscles. Come and see Sunny Chill.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We're having a massive menswear liquidation. Don't panic, it's not our liquidation, it's Muns Menswear. They suddenly closed 6 stores throughout the country. Muns have left their suppliers dangling and desperate to move large orders. We've come to the party. It's our biggest purchase yet. You can save up to 70%. Yes, save up to 70%. We've got strictly limited stocks at the best deals.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
It's a big one. South Dunedin store. Don't miss this.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Garage Dunedin, delivering quality, stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 17 years. New doors, replacement doors and maintenance are all part of Garage quality service. Garage Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team.
Step into Ross Cafe, located at Ross Home in North East Valley. We have a great range of hot and cold food, friendly service and a warm atmosphere that you are sure to enjoy. We look forward to serving you soon at Ross Cafe.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Thanks for staying with us. Up-and-coming basketball players from across the South got skills coaching from NBA player Steven Adams in Invercargill today. Young basketballers learned how to perfect an overhead pass from Kiwi basketball star Steven Adams at ILT Stadium Southland. Adams plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the American NBA, which is currently in the off-season. 300 pupils attended today's camp, which was run by the Sport Pathways Trust and Basketball Southland. Trust spokesperson Spencer Webster says the event is about Adams connecting with the basketball community and encouraging kids to get involved in the sport. A Dunedin boxer is representing New Zealand at this year's Taipei City Cup International Boxing Tournament. Matt Crawford is making a comeback after a hiatus from fighting, was selected to represent the country at this week's tournament. However, he's also looking into a professional career.
The art of the comeback. Dunedin boxer Matt Crawford is back after a 2-year break to have another go at the boxing big time, after being selected by Boxing New Zealand to represent the country at the Taipei City Cup International Boxing Tournament in Taiwan this week.
I was ecstatic. Great feeling, yeah. Oh, it came at a great time. I had a break and I think it was the best thing that I needed physically and mentally. So I've come back, I've had a couple of fights this year and I've done really well and I'm loving it, yeah. Great energy and great vibes in the gym and yeah, the rewards are paying off.
The fighter had about a month to prepare for this competition after hearing he was selected. A tight turnaround, but one he wasn't going to shy away from.
Representing New Zealand means the world to me and it's anybody that knows me knows that it's something that's always been in my heart and I'm just really grateful for this opportunity and I just want to get out there and do New Zealand and do Otago and the gym proud and yeah, just prove that I belong at the top of the big boys.
As well as training hard physically, Crawford has a habit of putting motivational quotes on walls around his house and keeps a notebook to jot down his thoughts. He said the mental aspect of the game was just as important as the physical.
If you start to think negative things will happen, so you've just got to stay positive and the best thing to do is back yourself every day and just do the hard yards.
When Crawford arrives back in New Zealand, he plans to start fitness coaching. He's also thinking about stepping into the ring professionally. Whatever happens, he's willing to go the distance. Jack Conroy, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. African-American civil rights leader Elizabeth Eckhardt shared inspirational stories in Dunedin this week. She was the first person of colour in a white school. About 1,200 school pupils from 48 Dunedin and Invercargill schools are participating in a ukulele jam, filling Dunedin's town hall with music. And school children and dog rangers work together to release 19 black stilts in South Canterbury into the wilderness. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome Hayden Meikle, what have you got for us in the weekend's paper?
Good evening, Mel. Well, it's a Saturday paper, so there's always plenty of good stuff. This week's no different. Obviously, it's local body election time, and we've got a bit of a special tomorrow. Nominations closed today. Lots of interesting angles across the southern region to discuss. Principally, I guess, 14 contenders for the Dunedin mayoralty, which is a lot. I heard someone say it might be the most for any New Zealand mayoral race.
That is a lot of people running, isn't it?
It is a lot. I just missed the deadline, Mel. I was going to chuck my name in there, but I didn't. I didn't in the end, so we'll let the others fight it out. But won't that be fascinating? Dave Cull obviously standing down. It's going to be very, very interesting. The other interesting thing today, 2 mayors have been already elected, unopposed in the southern region, so we talk to them tomorrow. We've got the full list of the nominations, all the interesting angles. It's huge interest. I mean, it affects all of us. Who are these people? What do they want to do? They want to represent us. So that'll be a feature of tomorrow. On a lighter note, there was a dog rescue today. Now, let's face it, nothing hits the heartstrings like an animal being rescued, and there was a very spectacular, dramatic dog rescue today. That's probably all I can say. Wait till tomorrow's paper to read all about it. Some stunning photos. Fascinating.
A cute dog?
A cute, yes, I suppose a cute dog. Probably not as cute after the rescue. The dog had got a little bit dirty, but it's an amazing story, great photos. It's going to hold page 1 tomorrow. Late news this afternoon, we've had an arrest in the Gore manhunt, so we'll have the latest comments from the police on that. And sport. I didn't quite realise what a huge weekend it was for sport. Obviously, we've got the Renfrew Shield Challenge here. Otago hoping to hold on to the Shield against the Southland Stags. The Bleeders Lake Up at night, very interesting. But we've got the club netball final, we've got club hockey finals, it's the Port Road Race, the South Island Swimming Champs in Dunedin, the South Island Ice Skating Champs are in Dunedin. Just about every sport you can imagine, it's happening this weekend. So, huge weekend for sport lovers. And, well, if there was one result that would go our way, I guess most of us would probably say the Bleeders Lake Up. But Otago people would probably quite like to hold on to that shield too. Southland people might disagree.
Oh, well, good luck to all those teams participating. And now it's time for a look at the weekend's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with today's southern view of bathing seagulls on a balmy Dunedin day. Looking at the situation, very cold southerly airflow brings hail and snow showers at first tomorrow, but clearing weather during the day. Frosty weather on Sunday with clear skies. Starting off with the northwest of the South Island, Greymouth and Westport can expect showers and 13 degrees. Across to the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim are due for a rainy day and 13. Moving down to Canterbury, Kaikoura, it will be a rainy day and 11 degrees. Christchurch, you're also wet and will reach 8, and Ashburton, rain for you as well and just 7 degrees. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, decreasing southerlies with snow showers clearing. 5-degree highs for Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore, while the Catlins heads for 6. Travelling westward to the Central Lakes, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra, you should plan for moderate westerlies and 3 degrees. You're warmer in Te Anau, heading for 5. Looking at the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru, expect gusty southerlies, showers clearing and 7 degrees. Further inland, Twizel and Amarama, you're set for moderate southerlies, snow clearing and just 4 degrees for you both. In Dunedin, showers tonight with cold southwesterlies freshening and an overnight low of 4. It's very cold tomorrow, dry at first, but a period of sleety showers from mid-morning to mid-afternoon. A high of 6 and a low of 0. Sunny but cold on Sunday with light winds, frosty morning and night, a high of 7 and a low of -1. And finally, moving to Invercargill, hail and showers tonight with an overnight low of 5. Wintry showers with hail, sleet and snow at first tomorrow, but clearing weather with sunny periods increasing during the day. A high of 6 and a low of 0. And it's mostly fine and sunny on Sunday with light southwesterlies and frost, a high of 8 and a very chilly low of 2. That's all for the news for this Friday from the South Today. For the latest news from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.